Afternoon, everybody. Yes, since we played the last game, we missed the weekend, so we had a little internal friendly game. Some of the injured players have got closer to full fitness, and we've been looking at a couple of different tactical things that we're going to choose from when we do the final preparations for Supersport. So the players have been working very hard. It's been inclement weather, as you know, with lots of storms. We've had to cancel at least one field session because of waterlogged pitch. But anyway, the players have worked very hard and they're in good spirits.
Thank you, Coach. Without further ado, I'm going straight to members of the media to ask you to pose a question. We've got a full house today, so I'm going to manage the questions to an extent that it will at some time be uncomfortable, because we want to give as much as possible members of the media to have a bite at the cherry. So we'll start immediately with the
Thank you very much, Ntatevina. Good afternoon, Coach, and good afternoon to all my colleagues as well. Coach, first game in 2 years, supporters back. Your honest and genuine thoughts on them coming back on Saturday, and your message to them as well. Thank you.
Hold on, members of the media.
Yes,
It's a full house. I'm unable to see everybody on screen, and you are not muted, most of you. So we in trouble today. We're battling to control this discussion. Let's try, Coach. Go for it. If you got the question.
I think the question was, how do I feel about the supporters coming back to the stadiums? Yeah. Obviously, we're pleased. We're delighted. We've been waiting for that development, and we're obviously looking forward to playing in front of a real atmosphere instead of the muted plastic one that we've been playing in front of. I think I speak for everybody in the game when we say we know how important the supporters are. Whether the supporters are booing or they're clapping or they're laughing or they're crying, it's an important part of the game, and the emotions of the game are always reflected in the supporters. So we hope we can give them something to be smiling for.
Thank you very much. I see Mark Lisa.
Thank you very much. Stuart, can I ask you about what's gone on at Supersport, obviously with Kaitana going this week? What sort of impact does that have on the opposition, as it were?
Good question, Mark. It's people always usually say you don't want to play against a team that's just changed coach, because no matter what, there will be an effect. So, because Kaitana is both a friend and a colleague, I think it's a shame that he's had to leave his post. Sometimes the coach collects himself and gets over a bit of disappointment and develops even further. And sometimes the club benefit or don't benefit. So the pros and cons of that one, I don't know. But whether we will find a fired up Supersport or we'll find a Supersport in disarray, I think we should just concentrate on our own game. To be honest, Mark, I think there's an argument both ways there, but I think we've got to concentrate on our own house.
Thank you, Coach Temba.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, Vina. My question is probably off the pitch right now. Firstly, condolences to all the Kaizer Chiefs family members for the loss of head of security Katanga. Coach, my question is about the players that we have not seen in action, meaning the younger players. Looking at Supersport, that they've got, you're 23 years old, you're 22 years old, and we don't get to see those at Kaizer Chiefs. Is the coach probably tempted to throw in and go to them pound for pound, knowing that it's the same age group within the same age bracket?
Before Coach carries on, if guys you are in rooms that are hollow, it's difficult to get your voices. Temper your situation in case you're going to come back again. We couldn't hear you properly, but I saw Coach adjusting ears. It seems as if he had a little bit.
Yeah, I think I understood your question, Tim. Listen, you're also talking about a coach that's just been sacked. So whether the policy of selecting youngsters is about development, then it needs to be backed by the club. And development then takes the place of winning games. So you can't, it's a utopia if you think, or not you, but if anybody thinks that you can just throw in as many youngsters as you have and they will in some way with their energy develop. There's got to be a balance. There's got to be a balance now. I've got nothing against playing a younger team, but I think there's got to be a balance. You've got to play them at the right time. You've got to play them in roles they understand. And you've got to play them together with the experience that gives a bit of stability so that they can then feel secure. So we've been discussing that. It's been a hot topic here at the club, and we certainly want to be profiling some younger players. And whenever we think it's possible, we definitely can do that.
Temba, are you happy?
Yes, I'm happy. But just on the Katanga issue, the coach knows him.
Okay, sorry, I missed that one. No, look, obviously, it's been a massive blow for everybody at the club. I mean, some people have known Katanga a lot longer than I have, but I had a very good relationship with him and he was a general person. So this is nothing that leaves anybody at Kaizer Chiefs Football Club untouched. This is something that's touched the hearts of a lot of people here. Our condolences have already gone out to the closest family and friends, but even the players, the staff, the management, especially some of the management who've known it for so long, it's a massive blow, and God rest him.
Thank you very much, Coach. May his soul rest in peace. We go to Tolilo. While Tolilo is fixing his side, let's go to Mahlatsi.
Good morning, Coach, and to colleagues. I hope you can hear me clearly there.
Yes, perfect.
Coach, maybe a two-pronged question. Is the vision or the dream of catching up with Sundowns still alive for you and the guys? And also, there's a possibility that the Sundowns may be champions by the time you host them at FNB earlier next month. If that is the case by then, will you give them a guard of honor?
Let me take it as you asked it. Well, I think we've blown completely our own chances of putting any great pressure on Sundowns. Sundowns have done a marvellous job this year, and I think the rest of us are playing for the follow-up places. That said, if they are the champions and they come to us, we'll afford them every respect that professionals should afford to each other.
Thank you very much. Who was that? Was it Kolila?
Yes, Vina. Good morning.
Let's go, Kolila.
Hi, good day, Vina. Good day, Coach.
Hi.
Hi. Yes, I just wanted an update. Can the coach give us perhaps an update, please, on the Chiefs' readiness for this match against Supersport? The availability of players, suspensions and injuries, and what the medical team is saying. Thank you.
Thank you. We've got roughly the same crop of injuries that we've had before. A few of the long-term ones, CISO and people like that. So we don't have any more. We've got people coming back, like Leo Castro's in very good shape at the moment. He's been working very hard. Paul Alexander's back and had an extra game last week to get over his dislocated elbow. So apart from that, we've got Bernard, and we had a couple that were ill earlier on, but Bernard made his first training today. So Pato had his vaccination, so he went the two protocol days without training. So we've got everybody back in. They did a session today. We've just finished it, but everybody worked very hard. They seem to be in good spirits and looking forward to the game, and especially looking forward to obviously playing in front of the supporters again.
Thank you, Coach. We're going to David.
Good afternoon, Coach and colleagues. It's David from DStv Times.
Hey, David, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Coach. I just wanted to get your thoughts on how happy are you that Khama Billiat is back? He was obviously suspended in the previous game, and you struggled a bit, to break a resilient defense from TS Galaxy down. Now obviously he's back, and I'm sure you're quite happy about that. Thanks.
Yeah, no, undoubtedly. I think Khama's. I didn't see him in previous seasons, but according to a lot of people that have seen him at that time, he's made a resurgence, and I think Khama's performances have been very lively. And as you say, to break down a compact defence, you need people that are sharp. You need people that have got a little bit of that extra technique and pace. And therefore, we do miss Khama, and we played him in a bit of a false nine role, and we can play him coming in from the side. But whichever role we play him, he always looks lively. He always creates some problems for the opponents. So yes, we're glad to get him back. And one of the problems that we've had is we've been having one or two of the front players missing at the same time through injury or suspension, and that's broken up a bit of a rhythm that was working quite nicely. So it's not impossible for us to throw in one of the younger ones, Vivo or Machini or someone like that. But whilst the three or four that were playing solidly, then that was my problem. How do I get these kids onto the field? Now, Khama's back. Do we tweak the shape a little bit? Do we play with the four at the back? Would we play with three and an extra wing back? We'll have to wait and see. But certainly, Khama coming back is a bonus for us.
Thank you, Coach. We're running through because we still have two players coming on board. We're going to go to, is that Savero again?
Yes, Ntatevina, can I go again?
Yes, please.
All right, thank you, Coach. I think it's quite a given that you've received a lot of stake as well as some players, and then based on what Sundowns has done this season, and there's a lot of trolls as well, on social media. Do you sit down with these players and then put an arm around their shoulder, tell them not to look at social media? Do you support them to really be able to deal with this mentally? Because we see how mental health has caused some of the sportsmen worldwide. Do you sit with some of these players and support them mentally?
I think the only thing I can do really is, I don't take part in social media. I don't need to speak to or listen to opinions of some people that make almost a profession out of going online and commenting about things that they've not really got the deepest knowledge about. It's got to be the knowledge of a supporter. Now, I don't mind supporters having their banter and sitting in bars or whatever, discussing and criticising or whatever. But when you've got young players that are deeply affected to the point of depression, to the point of medication, then I don't think that the advice from me would be to be switched into social media to such a deep level. You have to be able to take part if you want to, but you also have to be able to take a step back from it and see that social media is a phenomenon, and it's not a judge and a jury. You know, so we have to be able to do that. I can't sit there with every player because I don't know who gets hammered. Now, if I get hammered for what Sundowns are doing, then that's, for me, that's not quite the most intelligent line of criticism. If I get hammered because someone came and watched one of the trainings and said you weren't very well organised, or the players didn't enjoy it, or the tactical aspects were wrong, then I'll listen to that argument. But there's not many people that have that deep knowledge. So I listen to you guys because you watch yourself all the time and you can have an opinion. But the social media is something completely separate to that. You know, that's a lot of opinions of people with less information. I'm not saying that it isn't a relevant part of our society, because it is, because it's there. But for the players, I don't think that I can advise them to take part in it. When I've seen young boys, in fact, I've known one young boy that started using banned substances because he couldn't handle the stick he was getting on social media. Now, you're right, with mental health being such an issue, my only advice to people is to try to have the right distance if you're going to take part in social media.
Thank you, Coach. Might I see 1 second bite? Or is the old hand?
Sorry, it's an old hand, Vina, sorry.
Okay, Tolile, is that the new hand? Is the old. Coach, in wrapping up.
No, Vina. It's an old head.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Members of the media, I'm going to ask the coach to wrap up by your message to the supporters, given the fact that from Kaizer Chiefs' point of view, we have not had them in the stadium for 2 seasons. It has had an impact on everybody, let alone Kaizer Chiefs. Your message to the supporters who are coming to the stadium.
I think every big club, or every club that professes to be big and has good supporters, a good supporter base, feels extra aggrieved that we haven't been able to have our supporters in the stadium, because we look at our supporters as being an extra player, as do Liverpool, as do many big clubs. So we'd like to welcome them back, absolutely, and we'd like to say, let's try and show everybody what we've been missing. I think that's my message to the supporters. Let's show everybody what we've been missing. I saw my old club in Stockholm. There were 4,000 supporters to greet the players at their hotel to go on camp the first game back. They showed the club what they'd been missing. And I think that would be my message to the Kaizer Chiefs supporters. Let's show everybody what we've been missing. And then together, let's set up on this journey of getting things back to normal.